So one question was regarding this. Warning in beam, when I cut the beam by face, my question, how to solve this warning? You remember when in the earlier version, when we used to cut these beams or any members, so it used to give us some warnings, right? So I would just like to take you to a small example there.
That's in RCB.
Yeah, we'll check that also. We'll go to this elevation, for example. For example, this is a steel beam. Okay, I'm just copying this, removing all the constraints, and then let us change it to RC beam, maybe concrete. Okay. For example, there's a reference plane like this, and then I just want to cut this. So I'm then going to cut this with the don't cut geometry. Cuts on complete members are ignored. So if I maybe it is not allowing me to cut this for the
RCP में रेफरेंस प्लेन से कट नहीं सकते, वो हम लोग यूज करने के कट बाय फेस है, उसमें ये वार्निंग आएगा, वो कैसे शो कर कट बाय फेस इन स्टील होएगा, स्टील बस, लेकिन आरसी में नहीं सकते.
So if there are warnings still coming, can you please let me know that where how do you want to cut the beam, cut by face? So it will not cut actually with the help of the reference plane. So whether I'll go to the 3D view and then try to cut this face by face. For example, this is the beam. I just want to cut this. Okay. So how do you actually cut this with the help of this cut geometry or something else?
By face.
That's what plan. Go to plan. Okay. Actually, just trying to figure out that how you guys are doing it. Let me just change the elevation so that it will be visible in the level 1. Yeah, it's there. Let me move a little bit base join and then move it there. Okay. Yeah, now please tell me what is the next step.
Cut by face.
Yeah,
cut structure tab.
Yeah.
Then the by face, last model after the model group. Last model text, model line, model group, by face. Model group के साथ है ना face, I section जहाँ है shaft का पास जहाँ कर्सर है वही ऊपर. या उसके left side by face.
Got it. Actually, these are the openings. This is not cut by face. These are the opening by face. Okay. So you are trying to create one opening. So, okay, I'm just going to take this beam and then, for example, you want to cut it diagonally or something like that. Maybe, for example, if I'm going to put some opening there. Okay. And then finish. So if I'm going to the 3D view, this opening has been created. And if you want to see in the warnings, manage, even if I'm selecting this, there is no warning.
Because what is the reason now? We are cutting like diagonally, which means the analytical line which is cutting through the cutting will be crossing the analytical line. It should be get a warning.
Exactly. For example, if you were cutting, if you are intended to cut like this, something like this.
There is no warning. If it is crossing the analytical line, it should be a warning.
Yeah. For example, if this is just a line.
And in this case, we will get the warning. We are using for only this type of cutting for the tapering.
Yeah.
This one.
So this will give you a warning actually because of that analytical rule of the Revit, and now this is giving us the warning, and you cannot get rid of that because this is not the recommended way. For this, I believe it has to be used with the notching. You remember the notch and the family which we used with the.
I think notch also not working in RC.
So let me show you one more thing. If you phase-based void family, if you use that, I think that will work for this thing. Let me just show you one family, okay? Just create one family that will be a void family, or maybe just use that in place family, nothing else, okay? Just an in place one, model in place, and then structural framing only. The category will be the same structural framing. That's okay. And then let me first set the work plane, pick the plane, and then this is the work plane. I'm going to draw a extrusion, maybe yeah, maybe like this, and then finish, and let it go -600, for example. I'm not sure what is the level of this. Okay, I have to cut this first. Let me just check. It has to go down like this. And then if I cut this, it is not allowing to cut. So in that case, we'll have to use the phase-based family. I think it is not actually working. Cut symmetry it's allowing, but it is not allowing me to cut with this. It is not allowing me. So alternatively, what I will do, first I will convert this as a solid and then finish. Okay, let me just try that whether it is cutting this with this. No. Yeah, it has actually cut along with the solid also, and still it is not giving any warning. But the thing is that it is actually visible, and we cannot have a void without cutting anything in the family. If this is a void, and then if I'm going to finish to delete elements, it will be deleted. If there is the void is not cutting in place family, this is the rule. If it is not cutting anything, it will not allow you to finish. So that means this process is not going to work. So we'll have to see the other way. The other way is actually if you use a phase-based void family, I think that should work. Family. If I take, for example, generic model and then phase-based, yeah, and then this phase will be of any size. For example, let us just take this rectangle. Later on, we can change the position of the box which we have. And what is the dimension? This is way, yeah, that's okay. Let's look at 500 by 500. 500 by 500, and this is family 2. I'm not saving it anywhere. Just okay. Just finish this, and then instead let's make it as a void. Going to the 3D view, and then taking it back till the bottom, going to the front elevation, and okay, let us have a depth parameter because maybe the beam depth can vary. So I'm going to put a parameter depth, and then it will be an instance one, okay, and then see if the top is properly aligned. Yes, it is aligned. And then let me cut. That's okay. So I'm going to load this. This is family 2, and this is phase based. Going to the 3D view, this is my RC beam, and then component. Yeah, this is family 2, placing on the face. So it is actually cutting. And if I put the depth parameter, if I increase this maybe 1000, it is actually cutting through. And if I want to, let me go to this. If I want to rotate this, it will rotate the way it should be. Actually, it is rotating by copying. So it is actually cutting and there is no warning. In the manage tab, there is no warning. So you can cut it the way you want to cut. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I think that should work for RCBeam especially. And even without getting any warning, you can customize a family, a notch family, kind of a notch family. And then you can name it. Or one more thing also, because this is in generic model category, let me check if I change the type, whether it loses the face-based thing or maybe let's
framing.
Yeah, let's make it the structural framing. Let's make it the structural framing and then load it back. Just wanted to check whether it lose the face-based properties or not. That's okay. Yeah. This is structural framing. Perfect. You can name it accordingly, the way you want to name it, and then it is working properly. For example, if you want to have a diagonal cut at the end, whatever the angle may be, you can cut it. Is that fine?
Yeah, good.
And the best part is that you can have the parameters, so you can increase or decrease the depth of the void. Is that fine?
Yes.
That's okay. So this is about what? The warning. Let me fix this analytical. Okay, this is done. So this was the one thing. Actually, I was just trying to see what are the warnings and the errors. How can they be fixed? So in addition to that, I just found these warnings as well in your questionnaire. So this is one thing I just want. Okay, one more thing. I remember you sent me a portal family, something like that, and you just wanted to control the visibility of that portal, right? So let me just open this here. This was done on 19th, project 1, and then let's just open it. So this is your family, the same family, right? And we are in level 1, and then sorry, level 0, and then level 1. Okay. Let me just check which category is this. This is structural framing, and then structural framing. Yeah, okay. So you see the plates are actually not visible, which were earlier visible. If I open the family which you sent, let me open that family. I'm opening a new project. Any template, okay. That's the architecture one. Okay. And now I'm opening the family which you sent. Should be there in questions. This one. So one family was there outside. Okay, this is the later one. Okay, let me open this. And then I'm going to load this in a new project. That should be, I think, project 2. The new one. The new one is the project 2. Yeah, this is project 2. So it was showing the plates on top, and then this is not showing the plate on top. This is the plate on the bottom. Okay. One more thing, if you see in the middle, earlier, this is the family which came from your side. This is also showing the plates on top, but now it is not showing. However, if you go to the level 1, This is the corrected one actually I'm showing you. And if you go to the
But then level 1, where is the beam? The PEB
sorry,
beams, beam type. This is level 2, no? Which means the roof level, upper level.
yeah, level 1 is the upper level, level 0 is the lower level. And if you want to see it on the 3D view also, you can see it like this. This is level 1, the upper level, and this is level 0. So on 0, only this plate will be visible, the bottom plate, and this and the upper plate will not be visible on level 0, 0. You see the upper plate is not visible, only the bottom one is visible. Okay, so what is the arrangement I made? I actually intended to deal it with the help of the subcategory. So as you must be knowing that this family which you sent is actually the combination of 2-3 categories. However, this is a structural framing, but still if you open this, there are 2 categories.
That is nested family.
Yeah, nested families. So if I check the category of the nested family, so this is a structural connection. Yeah. And also I think the generic models was also there. Maybe, I'm not sure. Structural framing.
All are created from generic model and then I will convert them to framing.
Yeah, so there are 2-3 things. If I check it here in the families, that what are the types?
All
Structural
connections are from connections.
connections as from connections. Okay, let's take it only the connections. What I made it, let me just show you. If this is a connection family, okay, so you can just edit this family and then see this is having the extrusion. And if I edit this group and then see what is this category, this is again a structural connection. Again, this is a family, okay. So what I did is actually for this particular extrusion, I just went to the object styles and then created one subcategory in the structural connection, which is top.
No, I didn't get it. Once again.
Sorry?
Repeat question. Once again, repeat.
Yeah, in every part of this family. For example, it is having 2 or 3 families,
That's okay.
nested family.
Okay, then.
In this family, you may be having 2 or 3 types of families loaded as a nested one, okay? You have to go and check in every family and you have to create subcategory. First of all, in the same family which you are having, you have to just check in the object styles. You have to create new subcategory from here. Modify subcategory, you can create new. Okay, structure under the structural framing, you have a new category which is top. I have just created it as a top. Once I have created it as a top, and then you see, for example, this is what do you call? This is structural connection. You have to just open the family, and then you have to see that which part you want to have it. For example, this has to be something which need to go under a subcategory, which is top. Subcategory is top. If you select this, you can see from here, you can opt which subcategory it has to be. Because if I have created the subcategory as a top, you can see here it has been created as a top. Okay, in the object styles.
Okay, where you?
If you want me to, I can repeat this process from the original family. I think that will be fine.
No. From here, where you created that subcategory in this family?
Select
Yeah.
then.
No need to
this
select.
family or the main family.
In all the nested families, you have to create the subcategory because in the connection, in the structural framing, you need to have that subcategory. So for creating the subcategory in this structural connection, which is the nested family, I have just go to the object styles, and here we have to create new subcategory, which is top I have created.
As many connections you are using, all the connections has to go through the same process.
Yeah, and especially the one especially the one which you want to hide actually with the help of those top, because if these are bearing the top subcategory and these are not even having the top subcategory. So what I did in the project, I simply just go in the visibility graphics and then just check the structural framing. Maybe first of all, it is the framing, and then I have just turned it off, the top one. I was trying with the other naming also, top connections.
Whenever we creating the subcategory, it will be visible under the framing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we can control.
Again,
Control.
yeah. Again, for the
That
structural
is,
connections, yeah. In the connections also, you have to use this. You have to turn it off. The top one, the subcategory which you have created. That's the only way you can hide the things. Otherwise, I noticed in this family there were certain parameters being created, hidden line for top, or maybe something visibility parameter.
that is for the symbolic line, just for the controlling the symbolic line. That
Yeah,
is the
that's
symbolic
okay.
line.
Yeah, that's okay. That can be exceptional. But I was just trying to tell you that with the help of the visibility parameter, it is not going to help, because once you select this any element and either you check it or uncheck, so it is not the view specific. It is for the all entire project. If, for example,
And there.
yeah. So if I'm selecting anything and if I'm opting to make it visible, so it will be visible across the project. It is not going to be hide in one view and the other view, it will be turn it on. So only the visibility graphics control can give you that freedom to turn it off in the desired view wherever you want to turn it on or turn it off. Yeah, subcategories. The only way I found it, it is useful.
Okay, for controlling this in project, in my understanding, what I did know, as per the visual style, which means the medium file, I can I play with like with that.
Yeah,
In
detail level.
ground floor,
Yeah, detail level also you can
medium level.
control, but
Visual style as I
this
did
is
that one as per the visual style. But this thing, no, what I feel when you told the subcategory, that is the new thing.
Yeah, that is good.
that is
That is
actually
also
good because I'm telling you why, because you can also control it with the coarse, medium, or fine detail level. But if there are certain requirement and you cannot change the detail level of a view, and it is recommended to use the fine detail level
that
in
is
every view,
some constraints are the visual stage.
then you will
Applying
stop.
with the visual stage, some constraints are there.
Yeah.
That is not good. This is okay, better. This one, the subcategory.
Yeah, subcategory will be the good solution for this kind of things.
This is applicable for our family.
All family, wherever you want, you can create subcategory.
Subcategory.
how to make just one more show subcategory.
Look,
Okay.
Can you create one subcategory?
yeah, let me just close this and then I will open the one which you have sent. I will do it as a fresh thing, okay?
Okay. The
I'm just-
subcategory is based on the view based, no?
Visibility.
View based.
Visibility, yes, visibility. It is about the
Yes.
visibility graphics, and this is view specific.
Okay.
I'm just opening a new project. Any template I can take because I am more comfortable with the architecture. So I'm opening that.
Okay.
And then opening the family which you have sent me. Okay. This is not having any subcategory. This is simply not having any subcategory. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just show you that in the object style there is no subcategory named top. Okay. So I will create a new one. What I will do, first of all, I'll have to see that whether it is having any, yes, it is having a sweep. Can you see it? This is having a sweep, and this sweep is not having any subcategory. This is none. This is set to none. So if I want to make it purposely to be visible or not visible, to be controlled by the visibility, because this is the top one, I don't want to see it on the top, or maybe, so I've simply just go to the object style and create a new category. This time I will name it differently. Elements above. Maybe like this, okay? just make it a different color. And now I'll go, rather than turning off the visibility, I'm just making it a red in color. In every connection, everywhere, I will make it red in color, element above. Let me make it and then copy elements above. I'm just copying this name so that it will be consistent everywhere. Elements above. Now I'll have to identify that first this family and this family. If I select all instances, see, this is a different family, 1, 2, and 3, the bolts. And this is something else on this side. This is a different, this is simple extrusion, right? This is not a family. So for this one, I will put this into the category I have created, which is elements above. As if I make it, it is started showing me in red color, right? And the rest thing is this family. I will just open this family, and then the very first thing I will create the subcategory in the object style, naming the elements above the same one, and then I'm making the color as red. Okay. Then I will select display simple extrusion and change the subcategory which I have created. This is element above. Okay, one thing is done, and now have to deal it with this bolts. This is again a nested family. I'll have to open this family again. Yeah, that's okay. I don't want to remove the constraints. So you see, now you have to do it something interesting, because if you select each and everything, select all will not allow you to put the change the subcategory, right? So you have to do it manually. First of all, I'll have to create the subcategory in this bold, elements above, and I'm going to change this in red color. Okay.
If we are creating separate object,
yeah,
subcategory as a bold.
Yeah,
we can control as a separately.
Yeah, in this family also I have to create, in every family we have to create the subcategories. If I go to the visibility graphics, now you see the subcategory elements above is now visible. I am going to make it turn it off. We'll show you that how it is working. For example, if I am selecting this nut, okay, this is simple extrusion and nothing. I am going to put it in the elements above, so it will be turned off. So this is how you can control that whether it has been set to the right category or not. Now you have to select the things individually. Yeah, this is again a family, okay? So we have to deal it little later. This is what, this is some model line maybe. And then subcategory again. This is not going to be deal with this because this is I think line. And
Invisible.
Yeah. So this is already invisible, so it is not going to be visible, right? So now I have to deal it with this spiral things. This is again a family, another family, right? So let us first deal it with this. This is not bearing any.
One element in this group, it will apply full law.
Yeah. Because I will select this family, edit this family, and have this subcategory. So it will applicable to all because this is a array item. I'm going to open this family first.
We need to add the subcategory inside of the family, or
in all the families and all the nested families, to have that subcategory. Then only it will work. So you see in this thing also I have to, because there are
like a parameter, no?
Exactly, the nested parameter will be started working, right? Again, I am going to make it the red one, elements above, okay? And now I'm going to put this all, this and this to the subcategory which I have created. Now this has become red. And what about this?
Reference line.
Yeah, this is the reference line. if I turn the elements above off here, so everything is turned off, right? So I'm going to load it back. And what was the earlier family name is? This is nut and bolt. So I have to load it in the nut and bolt. So we have to be very careful while loading. Then which family we are going to go. We have to load it into nut and bolt without saving, because this once I load it, it will solve the purpose existing parameter values. You see everything has turned to the right, red. Now the top one is left actually. If I turn it back, now this is another family. Okay, I have to open this. Let me turn on the thin lines, and there are different solids, maybe 3 solids. Yeah, first I have to create the subcategory named elements above and make it red color. The red color I am doing purposely just to check whether things have been placed in the right subcategory.
Only for the identification. Okay.
Exactly. And then later on you can change it. This is again the elements above. All of the things have been set to the red color. Now I'm going to load it again in nut and bolt, the same family. Don't want to save it. Overwrite the existing version. Now you see everything has been turned to red. If I select and turn it off, yeah, if I select all, turn it off. Now let everything get back and then turn it on. This is the main family. Now in this family, everything is bearing the subcategory, which is
Okay. One doubt. If you already turned off in the element above now, in that case, at that time also the nut, both nuts are visible.
Yeah, basically, this is not actually belonging to this family. So this is this is a generic model. So again, if you see here, so here you have not controlled the generic model. This is only for the structural connection.
I got it, because the
Yeah.
category.
Yeah, exactly. This belongs to a different category, which is generic model.
Mm.
So in the
Okay,
model,
okay.
in the project, you have to deal with 3 categories: structural framing, connections, and the generic models. So there are 3 categories which you have to deal. Now I'm going
So
to
until that reduce the category number, we have to put all into same category.
same category. Exactly.
Mm.
So now that bolt which we
Okay.
have created, we have to load it in connection plate. See, this has to be loaded into what? The connection plate. This is the connection plate family. I'm going to load it and don't want to save this. Now this has been loaded. Now everything will be bearing that structural connection. You see, everything has turned to red, right? I'm going to finish it. So I'm done with this one plate family. And then we'll have to see on the left in which here we have to load it, which is MS steel PEB frame, right? So I have to load it again. MS steel PEB frame. I'm going to load this without saving. I don't want to save the original family. However, you can save it back if you want. So now everything will become red. So there are many nested families, so it is taking relatively more time. Yeah, you see, everything has turned to red now here in this plate, as well as in this plate. If you want to control the visibility of this as well, so you can also change it to the subcategory. Do you want to see it in the level 00 in the first level, or you don't want to see it?
No need. We need only the base plate only the
Okay.
base plate of the core.
So select these
That
two
is
because these are the extrusions belonging to the structural framing family only. Just change the subcategory elements above. So this will also basically this is joined to this, so this is also hiding this actually. You see,
now for that this
Or-
we have to
we have to unjoin this. Now if you change the subcategory now, so it will only change the subcategory of this, and accordingly You have to unjoin. You have to unjoin this as well. This one. So we'll have to change the subcategory here again. If I'm now loading it to the project, level 3, project 3. I'm sorry.
The 2D line also we can put into the subcategory.
Yeah, that can also be put into the subcategory, but I think that there has to be a different category. We'll have to see. Now you see in the project, all the red parts are belonging to the elements above category. Now what you can do, you can just simply go to the visibility graphics, and there are 3 categories. First one was the structural framing, the original family category. This is the structural framing. You just expand and turn off the elements above. Okay, this is one. And then again, there are 3 categories. The second one is the structural connection. This is, I guess, structural connections. Yes. Again, you have to go elements above. And then the last one is the generic model. Again, you have to go and then you have to turn it off in the level 00. So now you are not seeing anything which is beyond the limit. Still, there is something visible, which is, I think we have, yeah. However, if you go to the level 1, you see everything. But what is this this thing? I'll have to see in the 3D view.
There is 2 plates are there.
Okay, there's 2 plates. The other plate also will have to put in the right category. There are 2 plates. The first one is coming from the family. However, the other one is the extrusion. On this side as well as on the other side, there are 2 extrusion. So we'll have to select and then change the subcategories and then load it back. Okay, now I'll just check the level 0. Now it's fine, perfectly fine. It is only showing the base plate of the footing, the base one. Okay, and it is not showing anything else. And on the level 1, it is showing everything. Now we can change the color because we have manually changed it. Just go to the structural framing. We don't want to see the red color.
Level 1 we need firm line, no? Which is the full frame we need to show.
Which
This
one?
is due to the beverage.
This
In
one?
level 1 we need
In level 1, okay.
Which means I think this is due to the view range issue. Because the level height of that one is more than
It's going up.
But then okay, this is okay, very good things. Yeah, we don't know about this one, the subcategory. What is the issue of this? We did not control these things with the view range. What is the issue? All other elements are controlling by the view range, no? If we place one column or we in the
Yeah, but there are certain yeah, you are absolutely right. But there are certain constraint with the Revit template itself. It actually work well with the cut plane and the top. All of the view range will work for most of the building elements. But if you notice any in-place family, it will not fall under the view range category, because if you make anything and if any part of the in-place family is falling within the cut plane, it will show the entire family. It is not going to
that
cut
is
anything.
I'm facing these things many of the family, which is we are creating the outside of the
This happens. Yeah, this happens. So
the generic, mainly the generic model and then converting to the category. It will show full. If we have 2 level, but there is no constraint the level things.
Yeah, that is something Revit it doesn't allow it, but it also
Okay,
there can.
we can control that.
Yeah, with the help of this subcategory, we can control anything. We have a very
these subcategory things is applicable for our family. You know, we can use these things in each and every family.
Anywhere, yes, anywhere. In the object style, you can go just in any category, you can create the subcategory.
This is good because otherwise we are using so many visibility parameters, then we will control like that on off like that.
If you want me to share this family, which has already been set to the subcategory, I can share. Otherwise, you can create your own.
No, we can create.
You can create, yes. It will be great if you can create.
Because we have to try the trial also, no?
Yeah, that is
If
very
we are
important.
creating, we will get some stack or mistake. We can find out that one. No, what is the issues?
Exactly. So this
Okay.
this is about the portal frame subcategory. Okay. Few more things I just want to tell you about the reference plane. We were discussing about the reference plane in the last session, I remember.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. See, this is a family I have created for the purpose of the reference plane. Just wanted to explain that what is the difference between the strong reference, weak reference, and no reference, not a reference. There is a thin line difference between all among all these three types. If I'm just opening this
strong,
weak,
weak,
and not a reference. If you go, this is a family. This is a very basic family. I have just created simple extrusion, and these are the default reference planes which are being set. And this is the one I have created. This is the reference plane, okay? And then I have applied an instance parameter to the length. This is L, okay? And you notice if I'm increasing this, it is actually changing the length. It is properly locked. The first one, I would, you see, is reference is something you have got many options there, starting with a no reference. If I'm starting with a not a reference, it is not a reference, and then load it into the project, see what it happens, what it does. If you select on the right side, it is not giving you a shape handle to increase or decrease the length. The way it is actually, it is allowing on the left side. Okay. So not a reference mean it is not giving you any shape handle. The first difference. However, if you make it strong or weak, in both cases, it will give you the shape handle. First, I'll show you the weak reference. I'm making it as a weak reference, and I'll show you that it has started giving you the shape handle on this side. And if I align it with the help of this line, I just want to align it, it gets aligned. Without, yeah, it actually moves. It doesn't stretch. Weak reference means it is not actually changing the length parameter. However, it takes the entire family to align it with the help of with respect to this line. Again, if I'm going to change it as a strong reference, and then load it. Now, again, it is also showing the shape handle, but the difference is it will actually stretch. That means the reference plane is that strong that it is actually changing the parameter length. The reference plane is even more stronger than the parameter length. This is the logic actually. So strong reference and weak reference both shows the shape handle. However, there is a difference. If you set it to the strong reference, the reference becomes more strong than the parameter length, and it increases the length or decreases the length. However, in the weak reference, the reference plane remains as a weaker section of the family, and the parameter length becomes more stronger and it remains constant, unchanged. But in both cases, whether it is strong reference or weak reference, it only give you the shape handle in case of the instance parameter. If I change this parameter to the type parameter, if I make the L to a type parameter and then load it back, so now it is not showing any shape handle.
Mm.
So it is only applicable to the instance parameter. The strong, the weak, the not a reference, they will be applicable to the instance parameter. Yeah. The other thing about because other than these not a reference, strong reference, and weak reference, there are many things. You can name them left, right, center, top, bottom. So most of them behaves mostly like the strong reference. If you make it, even if you make it left, it will behave like a strong reference. However, it is giving you a name that this is a strong reference. One more thing I just want to show you. Let's suppose this is, let me just first check that whether it is a, let's make it the instance one only. And if this is a strong reference, I just want to copy a few times and then put some parameter, maybe for some reference on both the edges. I just want to have some parameter, maybe for some alignment sake. Sometimes we have we need to have 200 from left side and 200 from the right side sometimes. So for example, if I'm putting a parameter offset, no matter whether we make it instance or type, let's make it instance only. This is offset, and also here I'm going to put the offset. Okay, so basically if I change it, this will also get changed. 320, 320. Okay, so this is just for the reference, and then the first, this one I am going to make it as a weak reference, and this one I am going to make as not a reference. So we have got three types of reference plane. The first one is the strong reference. We already discussed about this. This is something weak reference, and this is not a reference. Now I'm just going to load this. You see the family is same. It is having the shape handle because the parameter is an instance one. For the weak reference, it is showing us the shape handle. However, there is nothing in the family, but still there is a reference plane which is having the weak reference. It is giving you the shape handle to change this. Now you can see offset value is getting changed here. And if you change it from 310.7 to 150, so it will change here. The other thing is that if you want, yeah, please.
Only one side only change?
No, both sides.
Both sides change,
Both
but if
both
we
sides.
cannot visible the shape handle.
Yeah, because it is not showing any shape handle here because the left one was set to as a not a reference.
No reference.
No reference, yeah.
Yeah, but this is the weak reference. So I just wanted to show you that in all the cases, you can even select for the reference plane which are set to weak reference, strong reference. They can be selected for dimensioning. However, on this side, you are not able to pick it because this is set to not a reference. If I just go back there in the family and change the reference of this particular one, which is not a reference. Now I'm going to make it whether strong or weak, whatever you want to make. For example, weak. If I'm going to load it again. So now you can see it will show both the sides. Also, you can dimension. You can put dimension. If you want to, for example, if you want to draw something with the reference of this reference plane, so you can draw. So it will highlight. And if I change, for example, if I'm changing from the left side, the right one is also getting changed. Can you see it? If I increase or decrease, it is changing actually because both are bearing the same parameters, so both are changing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And the other thing
is
yeah, please.
This is now using family. We have used the reference in project.
Yeah, in the project. That's very interesting. if I'm in the project, if I'm using the reference plane, so it is actually not giving you that thing which is part of the family. Because if you see in the family, if you select the reference plane, there are little more parameters available there, and you are asking the Revit is asking you is a reference, what type of reference you want to use in the family. However, in the project, if you see, it is only giving you to change the subcategory name or the scope box which you want to uh, align it. That's it. So it is not asking you whether which type of reference you want to make it, only the subcategory. Subcategory means again the same thing as the same way we were creating the subcategory for the model elements. You can also create the subcategory for the reference planes. For example, if I'm going to make a different subcategory, we don't have any, so we'll have to create in the object style. In the annotation, it should be reference plane. These are the reference plane. I'm going to create it in the reference plane. For example, datum points. I'm just giving any random name. And this has to be maybe in blue color. Okay. So all the reference planes which will be set to the datum point will be visible in blue color. Even though this is the reference plane, but it will be visible as a blue color. The line type is the other thing. If you want to change the line type, is the reference plane again. Where is the reference plane? Yeah, this is the reference plane, and then it was set to as a datum points. What was the name? These are the reference plane. This is the datum point, and now it has been set as a solid line, so we can have the same one, which is aligning line. I can simply just copy and paste the name so that it will take the same properties. And then you see this is being set to the reference plane. And then also one more thing, if you want some reference plane to be of some solid reference, maybe some strong reference of the project, you want to distinguish between the other reference plane and the reference plane which bears this subcategory. So you can also make them little thicker than the others. So there will be two difference. First one is the change in the color, and the other one is the change in the line weight.
The thickness.
The thickness. You can even increase little more so that it will be visible more clearly said, so that which will keeps them different from the other reference plane in the project. Maybe just make it 9 or something more than that. So this is again the reference plane, but this is a different one. So anyone, if you would change the subcategory, datum points, you can have multiple subcategories in the project. So you can have red, blue, green for different uses. So this is all about the reference plane. And you see the properties of the reference plane in family are different as they are in the project. However, in the family also you have this subcategory option. If you see, there's again subcategory option. Within the family also you can create the subcategory for the reference plane. So that's not an issue. I hope this is clear.
Good question. Would you share any question? Just
If you don't have any question, I just want to show you something else.
okay. Okay.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember we were discussing about how to create an arc beam, maybe curved beam. I have put two RC columns there, and then I'm going to put a section mark just to see them in the 3D. Okay. If I'm intended to draw a RC beam, which is arch one, so we'll take anyone, the concrete beam, and there is nothing special, just to take an arc, whichever the arc may be, start and center arc, start and radius, to just take it and make it the way you want to make. And whether you want to make it to align from the top, center, bottom, that you already know. That is not something need to be explained. However, in this regard, I have some more thing to be explained that can be of great use for you guys. For example, I have a structure like this. I have created something for your reference. Maybe you have a structure like this. What if I make it a section box to crop everything else? Yeah, let's crop this like that. And also turn off the scope box. Where's the scope box? Yes, this is the scope box. Okay, so okay, we have a structure like this. We have a few columns and few beams. Then in the middle, there are two columns which are extended and want to have a curved beam, an arc beam in the elevation. So what is the best way of doing this? I'll go back. This is another project, I think. Oh, this is the same one. Yes, this is the same one. I'll go to the section view. Just take the steel beam, whichever I want. Maybe...
Make it arc line, then select
Sorry?
arc line also. Create one path.
Okay. We'll show you that also.
Arc, yeah.
We'll show you that also. For example, if we have an arc, this arc, we want to pick that line, okay? For example, let's just take this one and then select, and then okay, let's make this a beam. This will be a universal beam. But the problem, there are certain things which we can discuss about this. This is the line. If I'm changing the line, so it will not change. Again, we'll have to align this. So this is something else, but I'll show you that also. There are some more interesting things as well. Let's take this steel beam there and then make sure the 3D snapping is on. I'm going to take this arc, start and radius arc, from the top of this beam, and then you make it like this. You can drag it back, have it like this, okay? First step. So this is, you can deal with the notching or coping, whatever you have with you, you can deal it. And on the top, this has already been set. On the top, if you use the split command on the top, so it will split the beam to have it on either side of the column, which you see automatically aligns with the faces of the column, right? So even if I'm not splitting this, I'm going to copy these beams across the frame. Like I'm just going to copy this beam in all the grids. These are the beams and I've copied them. Now these primary beams have been done. Now I just want to have the secondary beams and that secondary beams to follow this curvature. That is the most important thing. If I'm going on level 1 and maybe level 2 where beams are visible, okay. So first of all, the first thing which should came across in our mind that we can just simply take the beams, any beam which we want to have, maybe not this one, the other one, the smaller one, having the 3D snapping. if I start from here, but it will not allow us to pick the perpendicular point, and there can be some deviation as well. Also, if we place the beams manually, so how to ensure that they are following the curvature? So there are so many pros and cons. So it is not actually recommended to use the secondary beams as manual. Rather, you can take the beam system and the automatic beam system. When you click on this, so it allows you to select the beam system. Can you see that it is highlighting the beam based on the fixed distance we are providing? For example, if I'm changing the fixed distance to 1 meter, so it will change the distance. Can you see the dashed line?
Yeah.
And if I'm selecting this, so it is showing in this direction. If I'm selecting this, let's suppose I'm selecting this side. Okay. So it has placed the beams, but if you see, these are not aligned to the curvature. Okay. So what we can do, we can go again for the beam system, taking the beam boundary automatic, but you have to make sure the 3D is checked. If 3D is checked, you can simply select this beam direction. And then if you see, it has actually followed the curvature we have. This is about rotating, how to rotate them. You can rotate them, cross-section rotation, maybe 90 degrees.
If we change the curvature of the main beam, it will follow the beam system also. Follow beam system will follow the curvature.
Yeah.
The
entire beam system is following the curvature. This is one way by automatic curvature. If I'm deleting this.
Kashif's question is if in this automatic beam system now, if we change the arch,
Okay.
Radius.
So will it follow it?
Yeah.
That's what your question was, right?
Yeah, that depends. Actually, I think it shouldn't follow because that is dependent on beam or the both ends. So even if you are changing it on one side, so it should not allow to change.
Both sides.
No, if we'll change both
Both
sides.
side.
So that we'll have to see. I don't think it is allowing. But actually it is following. On the first beam, it is actually followed the first one, and on the other side, it is following the other one. Let us just increase the view range and then see. Now we have two beams visible in the sections, and then see if we change this and can't keep elements joined, so it is actually following the way it is actually done. And this is actually unjoined with this. So that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, when one side will work, the other side will work.
Yeah, you see the other side will also be changeable because if you increase it, this will also change.
Okay, the boundary of the beam system now, if we clicking, we need entire boundary, which means that the first edge of the purlin is first one, then the next boundary is last one. What we'll do, we'll make a sketch, or how we'll do that?
Yeah, that I'm going to show you. For the sketch system also, I will show you. If you take the sketch one, better you go into the 3D. That will be more efficient. Or let us first do it this way. Just go to the beam system and then sketch the beam system. Let's just sketch the beam system from this point till this point. All right?
Offset. Little offset also just.
Offset.
Okay,
let's have some offset value. Maybe 1 meter.
600 or 1 meter.
Okay.
And I need to horizontal.
Sorry?
No, I need the offsetting horizontal line.
Horizontal lines align correctly.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. But in this way, I believe it is not actually going to follow the curvature. Actually, let me change the direction. This is the direction now. Either way, no, that's okay.
No, direction is okay before.
The direction
No,
was
no,
okay.
no. Yes.
But it is actually not going to follow the curvature by this way. But however, there is one way doing this. If I am doing it by, what do you call this way? Let me just undo. Okay.
By automatic.
Not by automatic, by picking the line, not by drawing the line. Okay. If I am going to create a beam system, and then by picking the line, and if I pick this line maybe with some offset value, this should not have any offset value. You don't need any offset value here, and here also you don't want to have any offset value, but here you want to have some offset, maybe 600, right, for this one on both sides.
That is inside.
Now you can fillet them. Oh, that is inside. Boundary line and then pick, having 600 offset.
Offset is zero, no, zero. That is the issue. Offset.
Something wrong.
Okay.
Let me align this way, and then picking the boundary line, putting the offset 600. That should be fine.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to finish. Okay. I'll do it once again. Going to take the beam system and then sketching the beam system, picking the lines.
That the plane or anything?
Yes, maybe the work plane, but the work plane, okay. Let us have it on level 2. That's okay. Level 2 is okay. But now you can just pick the lines, or what is this? This pick supports only. Okay, we have to pick supports, not the lines. This support, and with an offset value on the right side and the left side. It is only allowing just not giving any offset. Pick support.
It is taking only horizontal things. No?
No, vertical also.
No.
Because not that
Plain things. No, taking the curve thing.
Okay, let me have 0 offset there first, and then that we will see.
What is the symbol of the slope symbol? Showing just like as a roof.
ये जो ट्रायंगल है इनका क्या मतलब है इसका?
रूप में स्लोप होता है ना वही नहीं नाउ भी सर अभी भी
ये ट्रायंगल पे क्लिक करके देखिए क्या?
नहीं, this is actually taking the supports. Let me try.
नहीं वो स्लोप है, वो स्लोप की डायरेक्शन है.
स्लोप है.
Yeah, but it is actually representing that it is taking the support. Again, let me check, and then select the upper one, and select the upper one. Then if I finish, it is actually following the beam system. Even if I select the supports and then having the offset as it is required to have the offset. Now I'm going to select this support, this one, the top one. I don't know where it is putting the line. 600 offset, it is not showing. If I'm putting 0 offset, then it is okay.
After that, we can adjust.
You can drag it now after finishing.
Yeah, but that should also give that freedom. But yeah, if you create the beam system, the thing which you need to mention, remember, if you create the beam system across the structure, in that case, you have to go with the pick supports, and then you have to make sure the support which you are picking, it should be the correct one. If you are picking the arced one, so it will follow the arced one. If you are selecting the flat one, it is going to follow the flat path. This is the only key. And however, if you are yeah, please.
This support moving, then this
Yeah,
actually
actually it should move. If I'm changing the arc, for example, this
no, not arc, that column.
Okay, this column.
Oh, we are sorry. Oh,
That is not our support.
No.
Support is only the beams.
Yeah,
not
actually,
beams only.
Whatever
actually,
we pick the support, whatever we select the support, that is the
Exactly.
Okay.
like a positive.
yes,
Post not just like a positive or
you are right,
Okay.
because for opting the support, we have only opted these beams and this beam, so it will be related to these only.
Just move the one beam, then just we can see that one moved outside.
Unjoining, it is actually unjoining because the other support is not extending.
due to the column connection.
So it is.
That is column connection.
Yeah, it is actually going beyond, but it is stopped somewhere and it is extending. Again, this support is not extending. So there can be something absurd. But there are certain hit and trial things that it can be done, it cannot be done. There are certain things, but this is how we can create the overall beam system, the secondary beams, to follow the curvature. The other thing which is very interesting, I just want to show you. If you have any question, I can show you here. Otherwise, I have something very interesting to show you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, should I show you? Let me first make a complex roof which can be of curvature, having any curvature in the architecture. For example, like this. I'm going to create a mask. In the mask, okay. Let me first do one more thing. I have got one reference plane. This is reference plane 001. I'm copying it again like this, and this is reference plane 002, as you see. Okay. I'm going to sketch a massing. Okay, putting a section here. Going to this view, there's nothing being shown. Going to massing, roof. Okay, I'm going to draw a spline and picking the plane which is 001. Okay, so I'm going to draw a random shape, maybe this kind of roof, and then again draw a shape on the work plane 002. So this time it is opposite to that. Okay, and now go back to the 3D view. We can see there are two reference planes, two splines. I'm just selecting both of them and making them as a solid. Okay, and now this is done. This can be of any this can be any roof, and I'm going to make this a roof. For example, this is a roof. And let's make it a roof like this by face. Create a roof. So if I make it,
Visibility.
yeah, roof,
Visibility of the roof.
yeah, roof was turned off. Now it is turned on. Now you see this is a roof. Okay. I'm going to the level 1. This is a roof. It's visible like this. Going to the side view. That's much better. And then let's have a section to see, like we have a roof structure like this. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So if we are supposed to put our structure across this roof, so for example, if I'm turning off the mask is already been turned off, so maybe turn it off from here. Yeah, it's been turned it off. If I take the structure system, maybe the structure framing, and then we can pick this line to have the beam aligned with this face, correct? We have this beam aligned with this face. Let me put it to the hidden line. So my beam can be aligned with respect to the shape we have. But the other thing is that the other aspect of this type of framing system is that if I turn the massing on and if I select the mass, for example, if there are some changes in the shape of the roof, if I select the mass and then maybe this is been changed slightly, you see the beam is not aligned. Even if the roof, if the roof is updated to the face, roof is gone there to match with the Mars face, but the beam is not gone. Can you see it? Beam is still there. So in that case, we have got another option, which I'll show you. Let me just go back there. Let me first delete this beam, go back to the section. Let's be here. Let's make it here. I would rather say, and this is the reference plane 002. Okay. So as an alternative, what we can do, we will take a truss instead of a beam and then pick the reference plane 2. We'll draw a truss as a whole assembly. I think this is not the one. This is not the correct one. I'll use a different truss, which is having the top member as parallel to the bottom member, and show you that why it is being used as that's an alternative that can be a hack. Structural framing. No, truss. This one, let's take this one only. O flat truss. Okay, now let's delete this and then again take the truss. This one only. It has been drawn. Now I'm going to edit the family of this truss. In the truss family, if you see, this is the top member, this is the bottom member, and these are the intermediate members. So I will select all of them except the top one and then delete, only having the top member in the family. Just save it as with a different name so that the origin family is not affected. I will save it in my folder. 2025 sessions, November 30. Truss has been. So I have deleted everything except the top member and then load it. Once I load this, in this section, we'll go and check truss as, where is that one? Truss has been. So now it is not having anything except the top one. And now if we select the truss, there is an option to attach top or bottom. So we can either attach with this roof. So detach truss type, actually it is going beyond the limit. Maybe I'll have to reduce it from both sides like this, and then we can attach it with the roof, maybe in the 3D. Actually, it is outside. So let us go to the site plan. It is outside the truss actually, roof. Let us put it little inside and then go to the 3D view. Select the truss and then attach with the roof. Yes, it is attached. It is attached. The bottom member you can select and unpin and then delete. So it is actually attached as a truss. If you tab and select, it will show you this as a structural framing. If you select like this, it will show you that this is a truss. So the best part of this type of stuff is that if you even change the roof profile, if I select the mass and then make some changes in the mass profile, maybe this one, if I'm changing a little bit, editing the profile, if I'm changing like this and this, maybe some changes there. The mass has been changed and now roof can be updated to match the mass, and in the bottom you can see the framing has also been aligned to the roof face. So if you have some complex and critical shape from the architecture model as a roof member, so you can go ahead with this one. You can use the truss, removing all the members from the truss, having all the top one as a beam, and then you can.
Beam itself not attaching, we cannot attach.
No, beam cannot attach. Structural framing cannot attach. The truss can attach. However, there is a downside of this trick also. In the schedule, it will give you the quantity of the truss, not as the beam. So that you have to manage somehow.
Or otherwise, we can split the roof, no, or a mass, split face. Then we can add the grid when place our framing, no. That's also working, no.
That can be done, but the plus point of this trick is only if you update the roof surface. So it will actually following that updated roof surface. That's the plus point of this trick.
One question: we are adding the roof in the as a curtain wall. We cannot manipulate the curtain wall profile.
Curtain wall profile, actually, if it is
in the following the roof now.
Yeah, actually it is following the roof. Whatever the category, it is actually following, because attach and detach option is only available for the floors and the roofs. So roof it can follow. If you have something else, then I think it may not follow. You can just go and try, but this is actually a trick. I just found it when I was exploring different ways of having the beams in curvature. So this one I found more functional, especially in terms of the complex parametric shapes which are coming from the architecture tools.
But we have already deleted all other members, no. Then still the bottom code is showing.
Bottom chord is not showing because it is a truss as a category. If you select this, it is showing as a truss. But if you can tab and select, it will show you that this is a beam. So it is actually a truss. It has not lost is property as a truss, still you can see this is a truss. But as a truss, as a member of the truss, you have this beam. So this is how you are going to deal this. You cannot explode a truss the way we explode in AutoCAD, but it will remain a truss. So now it is a matter of selection whether you want to select it by the tab key. So it will give you a framing, and you can put the framing tag also. So that's what you can do. So this is a truck. Maybe that can be useful for you, or if you don't want to use that, you can simply use the beam and then select the face. But the only thing is that if there is something changing in the design, you have to do it manually. You have to sketch your beam again. By this way, it is actually following the curvature, whatever it is there in the background. Any question on in this regard? One more thing is left in your questionnaire, because I was reviewing all the questions. This was something northing and easting to be demonstrated and mentioned. And in BIM 360 reference plane is already discussed, and this is something Dynamo and BIM 360. We are going to have a separate session for that, maybe in the end. So the only thing which is northing and easting, which is still left, I just want to explain. I give a very brief example for that, because there is nothing much more to be discussed about this orientation. You see, in a project, there are two things. One is the project north and the other is the true north. Project north is something, because in Revit, it is always upward. The north is always upward. If you click here in the architecture only, so it is giving you the south elevation, because you are standing on the north side, you are reviewing on the north side, and this is the south side. So by default, this is upward. But if you talk about the project north, it can be any direction, here, there. This is the real time north of as per the geolocation. For example, I have this building, and I just want to rotate this with respect to the true north. Maybe the true north is parallel to this. This is the true north, okay? So what I have to do is, in the view property, there is nothing being changed, that's selected. In the orientation, by default, it comes with the project north. You have to manually change it to the true north. And then go to the manage tab. In the manage tab, you have got project location. Project location, you have got position. There are two options: relocate project north or rotate the true north. Relocate project is something else. This is not north. Rotate the true north. So if I just pick this true north and then place this point maybe in the starting, and you have to notice something, that if I would rotate clockwise, it will rotate my project anti-clockwise. This is the logic that, for example, if you are sitting in front of a screen, you turn your face, you turn your head towards right, and you will notice that the top of the screen is on your left side now, because you are tilting your head towards right, still the top of the screen on your left. Can you see that? On the contrary, if you tilt your head towards left shoulder, and then you will see the top of the screen is on your right. So that is actually that logic. So for example, if I'm putting this and rotating it towards right by 45 degree, so you see this orientation will be opposite in direction. This is gone on that way. Okay. So for example, if I want to make this on top, so we'll take the rotate to north. Just want to have this reference as an endpoint. What I will do, I will rotate it towards left, 45 degree. So now it will keep my building upward. So whenever I want to have the project north setting, it will change my project to the project north. Whenever I want to change to true north, it will change my project to the true north. So this is the only case.
It's by view only, no? You can change it.
It's view specific, because you see in the level 00, it's been set to the true north. In the level 1, it's been set to the project north. If I again go and check there, the true north, so it will also follow the same. So it is the view specific thing.
What
is
question you guys had?
so
Is
this
it
is
giving you the answer? Or you have any other confusion? Can you please let me know? Yeah? This is like that only, or you have some other confusion? You can say no problem.
No,
We can
I
discuss.
didn't ask about this question.
No, then anyhow, I'm saying, is it okay for you guys there?
This is same like this, no?
Hmm,
So which means whatever we do in the direction, it's opposite.
correct.
yeah, so it is always opposite.
If we want to go right, we put
We
the
take it the left.
direction left.
Sons.
But only on the project, not in the car.
Some kids.
Okay.
In the car, it will do blunder.
Because sometimes we get.
Okay, I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
Not about this one. What is the use of IFC format?
IFC format is basically used when we want to have the Revit geometry to be used in different workflow. So that is a bridge to build the compatibility between two different workflows. For example, if I want to use a different geometry, for example, maybe from Rhino or Grasshopper, and they
For integrating different softwares.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. So in case if two softwares are not having the same compatibility, for example, we cannot directly import or link the Rhino or Grasshopper or maybe some other software's geometry into Revit and vice versa. So there is a common
You see the
bridge,
file IFC
yeah,
file.
IFC format, and then you can transfer it to the other software. Yeah, that's the actual use of the IFC.
Can
Then
you?
the IFC also we can if we are create model our model in higher version, then we are
Yeah.
exported as IFC. It can
Yes.
be open in lower version also, no?
Yes, you can link them. You can link them, or vice versa. You can export an IFC and use it in the higher version, just in case if you don't want to upgrade the Revit version for some reasons, but
No.
still,
No. In Revit also, no? If I have created my model 24, I exported this model in IFC. We can open in
20.
Exactly. Yes, that will also
Possible?
support. But with some limitations, because IFC is not as good as Revit, but still it will give you the accuracy of the snap and everything. It will give you that accuracy. It will come with the database
When
which
we
Revit.
are exported as a IFC, it will break, no, the as a level in level wise.
Actually, yes, it comes with some many levels. But there are certain settings once you export the IFC. So there are certain settings which we need to take care of, that how to export. And better you go ahead without changing any setting, go ahead with the default settings to export the IFC, and then you can import it in the different versions of the Revit. Yes, sir.
Can you go through this list now? What is left? Only one session which we have opted for the last for the 360 and this.
Yeah, that is only left, sir, which was supposed to have the dynamo integration, useful plugin,
So
and
that
then
is the second December session is not for them now, no? That's what, because you were changing it to the
Yeah.
architecture because it gets
because
finished here only.
I have already gone through the list of queries they have sent. So most of them, everything has been sorted and explained, except the things which are related to this Dynamo and the integration of the other plugins. So rest of the things has been taken.
That's a joint session. Last we have decided to take it at the end once the architecture sessions will get over, right?
Yeah, right. That can be a joint session with the architecture and structure.
So then please revise it and resend it to the organized people because they won't be knowing that on 2nd of December it is their session then, not
Fine.
the structure session. Structure session we will let them know when we are doing. Once we finish on 3rd, then we will take a 1 day for both of them for this 360 and Dynamo integration.
Fine. Fine.
So
maybe
so
tomorrow
do you
onwards.
have any other question? Yeah.
Tomorrow onwards
So do
we
you
have
have any
architecture
other
session.
question? That's what I'm saying. Do just please ask if they want to know anything else.
Yeah,
If
I'm
they have
here.
any question.
Yeah, I am here because this is the list. I have came across one by one everything, and everything has been done, incorporated. Even I have taken these queries also. So this is also already been done. If there is anything
I will
still
send
remaining, they can send it across.
Okay, I will send one project file to you. I am facing some issues about the cutoff level of file.
Okay.
I've done 2-3 exercise without that file, which means a fresh file. In that file, it will work because what is the question means if I place one file cap, which file or 2 or 3 like that, no. In the file cap, we need the file cutoff level, which means all files are
Different level.
inside of the 75 mm inside the file cap. We need that level in our plan by spot elevation.
Okay.
So
that will be, I think that will be great. Before sending that file to me, can you please just open that file maybe in any session? You can just open that file and explain your question. So that will be, I think, more useful, going to be helpful for all of us. And that we can take in the joint session, which we'll be having for architecture and structure combined at the end, as SPR sir mentioned, for the Dynamo and all.
My question is simple because I tried that one. It is in a fresh file, it is working. Basically, in Revit all allowing that one, but in that file, that's not getting that thing, the elevation.
Maybe because of some settings, project specific settings, maybe because of that, it is stopping you. So we'll have to see that file.
Visibility.
So can he share his screen with you for 5-10 minutes and you can see what, so that you will be able to answer him?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. If is it possible?
For that project.
No, I'm saying from your desk, you can contact Kashif whenever you are. Just let us know. Write an email. He will spend 5-10 minutes with you online, and you can resolve it. That's rather than having a full session on that. You're getting my point, because it's a specific problem.
No, maybe
getting my point, Kashif?
maybe yes, sir. Maybe in the last session which you are telling, that will be about some BIM 360 and ACC docs. In the same session, we can spare some 10-15 minutes in the end, and that we can see.
That's what I'm saying. You can individually do it if you want to do it individually, or if you want
everyone know what.
Yeah, no problem. I'm saying you can share the screen and show him, because once you're sharing and he can see the real time problem rather than you sending a question, he doesn't understanding it.
Yes,
Getting my point.
Yes,
So screen sharing, the way we are showing today, sharing the old your family and the family, so it got cleared what are the problems, right?
My question is we didn't get the cutoff level elevation in that project. That is the only thing. In new first file, it will work. We will get the top of the file cap, bottom of the file cap, cutoff level also. But in this specific file, we didn't get that one.
So you do one thing. I would suggest do one thing, please. By the time we are waiting for the last session, by the time you just send across your file to me, and then explain your question with a basic screenshot that this particular level you want to have.
I will give the basic screenshot. It will easily understand.
Yeah, you have the email now. You have
You just send it across.
Yeah.
By the time I will look into it, and I'll inform you that as soon as I get your question and the problem is solved. Otherwise, we'll again look into your system and then try to figure out what is you are not getting it. Right?
Okay.
All right, sir.
Okay.
So thank you guys
Thanks.
for your time.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you, Rashid. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Take
sir.
care. Okay, bye.
Thanks.